Hi. I am excited to be finishing this wonderful course, and thank you so much for a valuable experience. My beliefs about the primary goals of schools didn't really change but grew in depth and were reinforced and clarified with better understanding of the root causes and the historical significance of how these goals developed. I did initially put more emphasis on academic learning based on my own experiences and something that I still think is an essential goal. However, the discussions and readings helped me see the importance of creating a well rounded individual who understands the importance of thinking, reasoning, understanding the concepts of democracy, has an ethical and moral compass that altogether will help to create a more equitable and democratic United States. The articles provided in this provided the research that supported my previous concerns, but it also gave me a great deal more information to share with others to support the importance of the social cultural impact, ethnic and racial impact, and the importance of leadership in creating positive environments and a welcoming school culture. My goals for this course were to engage with my peers and to learn more about how to best support my students and staff in an equitable and socially conscious manner. I feel that this was accomplished, though in the end I am left with more questions than answers, but I'm going to guess that you might not surprise you. Thank you again for an engaging and meaningful experience. In the course, I have been struck by how schools are such a significant bureaucracy, and the nature of a bureaucracy is a hierarchy that it generates and a slow-moving change that occurs. This has made me much more aware of the difficulty of change and the need for it to occur at the grassroots level as well as the higher levels. I started at this master's because I wanted to create change at the top, and now I have a better understanding of how this will have to occur. I'm more aware of the importance of the state government in making decisions over local districts, and I am more aware of how the federal government can impact schools using restricted fundings, mandating curriculums, and passing laws, even though there is nothing in the United States Constitution about the federal government being responsible for education. Sometimes it's all about money. I have learned more about this role and the responsibilities of the school board, and through the exercises have read considerably more about the school board here in Baltimore City. In the past, I would tend to get involved in district politics and the union and not look further at the school board. Having done so, I see the graft and corruption in the past 10 years with poor accountability of money spent. I see the lack of democratic representation of stakeholders in the schools in the city, and I have also become aware of the major impact of the state government policies. The governor of Maryland has gotten quite involved with Baltimore City schools because of his displeasure about the poor performance, even with a high influx of state tax dollars. Some of the counties in Maryland, especially those close to Washington, D.C., have the highest performing schools in the county, with some of the highest income areas in the United States. Meanwhile, Baltimore City has some of the most severe poverty in the United States, with a very low tax base, limited money going into the educational system, and underperforming test scores in the majority of schools. This reflects some mismanagement by the school board and the school district administration, but it also reflects the inequitable distribution of resources based on need. My future career and endeavors are influenced by several takeaways. First, though the subject may not be new to me, I now have a much better understanding of ELL's rights and methods that have been successful and unsuccessful in their education. While I already understood and felt the need for reform, I now know that my thoughts are valid and I am not alone. I have some good ideas about how to introduce the whole school to participate in ELL language acquisition, the need to fully include the ELL students in any school-wide reform, and the importance of the administrative leadership in making this happen, and a supporting school culture with heavy participation from the community. I have learned how difficult it is to create reform within a school district, reflecting on how difficult it is for people and the institutions to change. I have learned again and again in these graduate courses how important leadership is and the major role principals play in creating a productive and positive school. Also, this course again emphasized how important it is for teachers to participate in the decision making and learning how to best interact with students to create equity. In this course, my thoughts on how the use of testing as a measure of success is inaccurate and in some ways harmful to some students have been reinforced with further data and literature. This is especially true for English language learners. Lastly, I learned that I can become a valuable and productive leader, but there is much more that needs to be done within the school system, and true reform in public education may need to come from policy at the district, state, and federal level. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.